at the time, in 1976, or for the next 23 years. At the time, my new career was more important than a new child. Being sexually involved with my boyfriend was what everyone was doing, and I needed a relationship because I thought that was the way to fill the emptiness in my heart. When faced with the consequences of being sexually active, I decided I didn't need a pregnancy. There's no way I wanted to be pregnant. And I didn't allow myself to think or to feel the reality of a new child. At that time, it seemed to me that my peers and friends, they were not celibate. They were not choosing birth. My immediate needs, that was more important. So, quite easily, I had an abortion. A few years later, I met a man I married, and we have 2 wonderful sons. Sounds like that should be a happy ending to my story, but it's not. See, my young children, they express emotions freely. They have a joy of life. They cry easily, they make up easily, and they go on to the next adventure. But they were triggering something inside of me. My emotions. What do I mean by that? Well, I would cry too, but I wasn't bouncing back as easily as my children. I became less and less able to prepare meals in a timely fashion. Coordinating outings with the family was just too stressful. My self-confidence as a mother was eroding. I became jealous of my husband, of the time he spent on other things and other people. My self-confidence as a wife was eroding. When I went back to full-time employment following the birth of my second son, I tried so hard to be perfect, and after a few years, I suffered from burnout. I quit. I tried a completely different career, and I failed at that. My self-confidence as an employee, as a contributor to my family finances, was eroding. What was wrong with me? I went to a doctor. I went for therapy. I went for all kinds of therapy, but nothing seemed to be helping me. One Sunday, in the winter of 1999, while attending weekly Mass with my family, I picked up the parish bulletin and I read, "If you are depressed from having had an abortion or having helped someone have an abortion, help is available." Well, upon reading that, my body went into a kind of a shock. I couldn't breathe. I felt like temporarily paralyzed. No one had previously put those 2 things together, depression and abortion. Was that the missing link? I had shoved and stuffed my abortion so far down, out of thought and mind, that I hadn't been able to see the link. It took me 2 weeks to gather my courage and make the phone call for help. But I attended Second Chance Ministries Thursday night support group for people suffering from post-abortion trauma. I listened to others share their stories, their struggles and suffering, and their journey of healing. And I finally shared my secret in a safe place, in a confidential place. And I learned that what I had done subconsciously as a result of my abortion was put up bars in my mind and in my heart. I had set myself up in my own jail, unable to fully participate with family and society. Oh, if they only knew what I had done. I wondered, would anyone trust me? I couldn't even trust myself, even though I tried so hard to be a good person. Deep down, I knew I had cruelly cut out and cast out my child, who was meant to be a precious new person, the ultimate gift from God, the Creator. As I attended the weekly support group, I learned if I was sorry for killing my child, that Jesus would forgive me. I learned if I admitted the fetus had indeed been my baby, well then I could love my child. I gave myself permission to mourn the death of my child. I allowed myself to feel the loss. I faced the regret, and I repented of taking her life. I faced my anger towards society, and I learned to forgive those involved in my abortion experience. These things are all part of our the healing process. The most difficult part to do was to forgive myself, but God has been merciful to me. He has shown me the error of my ways, and I have accepted forgiveness. He has provided me with friends along the way, and now my heart is full. He has filled the emptiness in my heart. I believe that my child is a girl. I believe that she's in heaven, and I have named her Marissa. She is a part of me, and I now face the world with her, with family, with friends, and without those prison bars. I am silent no more to let the world know that there is suffering after an abortion and there is healing. I regret my abortion.